You reach for the satay with your left hand. The vendor's smile tightens for half a second, and the two locals on the stool next to you go quiet. You didn't notice. They did. And now the easy, chatty version of this meal. The one where someone tells you which stall down the alley does the best nasi goreng isn't happening. Indonesian street food runs on a handful of small, unwritten rules. Get them right, and a 10,000 rupiah plate turns into the best hour of your day. Get them wrong, and you eat alone. 6 rules, the phrases that go with them, and what to actually do with your hands. Most travelers think street food etiquette in Indonesia is about not offending anyone. It isn't. It's about being read as someone worth talking to. The vendor and the locals on the stools next to you are making a quick call in the first 10 seconds. Tourist who's going to eat fast and leave, or someone who knows how this works. That call decides whether you get the polite version of the meal or the warm one. The rules are small. The difference they make is not. The mistake is treating a kaki lima stall like a restaurant. It isn't. A kaki lima, the little wheeled or fixed sidewalk stalls you see everywhere, is closer to someone's kitchen that happens to be on the pavement. The vendor is cooking, taking money, wrapping orders, and watching the street all at once. The plastic stools next to the cart are a shared space, not your table. Once you see it that way, the rules stop feeling like rules. Blocking the front of the stall isn't rude because of some abstract custom. It's rude because you're standing in the vendor's workspace while he's trying to hand a bowl to the person behind you. Handing money with your left hand isn't a faux pas in a book. It's the hand that, by old habit across a lot of the country, is the bathroom hand. Nobody's going to lecture you. They'll just go quiet. So the moves are the moves a regular would make. 6 rules. Here they are. 1. Greet before you order. Walk up, catch the vendor's eye and say, "Hello." If it's late afternoon, "Selamat sore," good afternoon, lands even better. This takes 2 seconds and it changes everything that happens after it. Skip the greeting and you've started the transaction as a stranger pointing at food. Start it as a person saying hello, and you're already halfway to the warm version of the meal. 2. Carry small bills. Most plates run between 10 and 30,000 Indonesian rupiahs. Call it $1 to $2. If you hand over a 100,000 rupiah note for a 15,000 rupiah plate of nasi goreng, the vendor now has to find change he probably doesn't have, and the person behind you waits. Break your big notes at a mini-mart, Indomaret or Alphamart, before you go looking for food. Keep a stack of 10s, 20s, and 50s in an easy pocket. In bigger cities, a lot of stalls now take QRIS through GoPay, OVO, or Dana. You scan their code with your app, but a lot still don't. Cash is the default. Bring it. 3. Order, then step aside. Once your food is being made or handed over, move. There's almost always a cluster of plastic stools a few steps away, or a wall to lean on, or a low table. That's where you eat. Standing right in front of the cart while you eat blocks the next customer and crowds the vendor. Nobody will tell you to move. They'll just work around you, and remember. 4. Right hand only. If you're eating with your hands, and for some dishes like a piece of fried chicken or certain rice plates, that's normal, use your right hand. If you're paying, passing a plate, or handing back a glass, right hand. Same for taking your change. The left hand isn't forbidden, it's just not the food and people hand. If you're using a spoon and fork, you're fine. Spoon in the right, fork in the left to push food onto the spoon. Watch the stool next to you for 30 seconds before you start. Whatever they're doing, do that. 5. Say thank you. When the plate arrives, terima kasih. When you pay, terima kasih. It's the smallest thing in this video and it does more work than any of the others. Vendors hear tourists order in English and leave without a word all day. The ones who say thank you in Indonesian get remembered. 6. Sit on the shared stool. This is the one most travelers skip and most regret skipping. The plastic stools and the little table are communal. Strangers share them, and that includes you. Sit down next to someone. Nod. Eat. If they want to talk, they'll talk, and that's where you find out which warung 2 streets over does the satay you actually came to Indonesia for. Hold yourself apart and you've eaten the food but missed the meal. 2 phrases that make ordering easier. Bungkus. Bungkus. means wrap it up to go. Makan di sini, eat here. And if you want a milder version of something, tidak pedas, not spicy, is the one to know. That's the whole thing. Greeting, small bills, step aside, right hand, thank you, share the stool. She's on Malioboro Street in Yogyakarta around 6 in the evening. She's been walking for an hour and she's hungry. There's a kaki lima doing nasi goreng on a flat top, 3 plastic stools next to it, 2 of them taken. She walks up. Selamat sore. The vendor looks up, smiles, says it back. She points at the wok and holds up one finger. He nods, starts cooking. She steps to the side, out of the way of the woman who walked up behind her. The plate comes. Terima kasih. She sits down on the empty stool. The man on the next stool is most of the way through his own plate. He glances at her food, says something she doesn't catch. She smiles and shrugs. He laughs and switches to a little English. Where are you from? How long are you here? She goes to pay. She's got a 50,000 rupiah note ready, not 100. Right hand. The vendor hands back her change, right hand. Terima kasih. The man on the next stool tells her there's a place near the train station that does better gudeg than anywhere in the tourist part of Malioboro and writes the name on a napkin. She got the warm version. None of the 6 moves were hard. She just did them. One small thing worth knowing before we get to the phrases. If you're eating somewhere that has a shared bowl of sambal or ketchup manis on the table, the chili paste or the sweet soy sauce, spoon some onto your own plate first. Don't dip your food into the shared bowl and then back into your mouth. Same idea as anywhere else in the world. People just don't always think about it when they're traveling. 5 phrases. Each one is doing real work. Hello, hello. The default opener at any stall, any time of day. Selamat sore. Good afternoon. Late afternoon through early evening, this lands warmer than hello. Worth the extra syllables. Terima kasih. Thank you. The phrase from Rule 5. Use it when the plate arrives and again when you pay. Bungkus. Wrap it to go. Say it when you order if you're taking the food with you. Tidak pedas. Not spicy. Indonesian street food can run hotter than you're expecting, and this is the gentle way to ask for the milder version. That's enough vocabulary to run a whole meal. Here's the version you screenshot. Greet the vendor before ordering. Carry small bills, break big notes first. Order, then step aside to eat. Right hand for eating, paying, passing. Say, terima kasih, twice, plate and payment. Sit on the shared stool. Don't hold back. That's the whole video on one screen. You can now walk up to any kaki lima in Indonesia, order without making it weird, eat without anyone going quiet next to you, and end up in the kind of stool-side conversation that turns one plate of nasi goreng into a list of 3 places you'd never have found on your own. Indonesia is generous to travelers who do the small things. It just doesn't go out of its way to tell you what they are. And every one of those small things gets easier the moment you can say a little bahasa Indonesia. Even the 5 phrases in this video. I made a separate video on the best ways to pick up bahasa, including a lazy method most travelers have never heard of. It's on the card, popping up on screen now. Tap that.